Okay, meeting 102 of the Foreign Film Exchange Club begins. This is Nostalgia Critic from Earth.
This is Hannah from the Blick Galaxy.
This is Manny from Planet Weird Ass Name 5, and just a reminder, if you tell anyone alien life exists, we will cut off your reproductive organs with a...
Yes, we know the drill. Now, Hannah, I was particularly impressed with your cinematic selection. Colors don't exist because they have no smell. I was especially surprised when the blah turned out to be a boop. It really changed the way I look at relationships.
Well, I was equally impressed with Manny's suggestion, nanoots on a plane.
Agreed, though the symbolism could be a little on the nose, I think.
You'd be surprised how many people think it's just about Zorka Mort castration.
And your selections, Nostalgia Critic, were also excellent. Godfather, Casablanca, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Granted, the last one, a little dated.
Of course.
We also enjoyed your classic comedies like the works of Charlie Chaplin and Mel Brooks.
Tell me, did Monty Python ever show his face on screen?
Well, no,
I understand. The prejudice against reptiles must have been great.
However, there is one choice on your list that we did not understand. The comedy Ghostbusters.
Really? A lot of people see that as a classic.
So you've said, but where Blazing Saddles called out prejudice, Life of Brian addressed religious misinterpretations, and Modern Times satirized industrial America, Ghostbusters fights a Yugoslavian fashion model in bubble wrap with extremely illegal and dangerous technology.
Well, when you put it like that, sounds even more awesome.
Am I right this masterpiece of cinema also had a Saturday morning cartoon?
2, that's how I got into it.
You don't believe that nostalgia influences your favoritism?
Well, I'm sure a little bit, but...
Apologies. While this movie is fine, we don't see it as a masterpiece.
Look, it's kind of hard to explain why this movie works.
Isn't that your job?
I mean, it can be explained, it's just tricky.
How tricky?
So tricky, they were never able to duplicate it again. Described Ghostbusters before as lightning in a bottle, and seeing how they've tried for years to unsuccessfully duplicate it, I think that's still accurate. Every sequel and reboot they've tried to do has had some sort of backlash or resistance. I actually kind of liked Afterlife, but even that divided a lot of audiences. And to some extent I can see why. Ghostbusters mixes a bunch of different genres and tones that normally wouldn't go together, but surprisingly works so well it's equally entertaining to both adults and kids. Like I said, I found out about Ghostbusters through the cartoon, the one spin-off most of us can agree was a decent follow-up. So when I discovered there's a version where they smoke, swear, and get blowjobs, I was in 80s PG heaven. But I'll admit, I can never look at it the same way audiences who first saw it looked at it. Stay Puft will never be as funny to me as when audiences first saw it on the big screen because I was too used to him as a cartoon character. Hell, I had the toy before I even knew there was a big screen version of him. So, as someone who's basically raised to love this film from the start, it is hard to imagine watching it today with someone who's never even heard of it. One has to admit it is weird seeing a movie where 4 slackers charge electric lassos to hunt snot bubbles while their clients bang and turn into dogs. It's required cinematic viewing. So, on its 40th anniversary, I want to go back and see if this film does hold the same comedic weight it did when it first came out. Separate myself from the sugar-coated franchise a lot of us associate with it and look at it as a standalone flick. Is it still a unique experience where several mismatched elements surprisingly produce a one-of-a-kind masterpiece? Or is it just an extended Saturday morning cartoon with dick jokes? Which I would also be fine with. So, if y'all can entertain yourselves while I go talk about a question that has a clear answer, but I think it's a lot of fun to talk about.
No problem. We'll watch one of your Earth shows.
Yes, the drama you call Spin City.
Well, it's not really a drama, it's given the past 8 years, maybe it is. Let's take a look at Ghostbusters. The film opens with a lion, lion. Actually, while the songs do rightfully so get a lot of praise, the Elmer Bernstein score is fantastic, making the theremin sound equally humorous and creepy at the same time. That's one of the great tone combos of the movie, being goofy and over the top, but also a little unsettling. They really make you feel like you're with this librarian, and because they mix different types of effects, it isn't all just CG. You feel the same claustrophobic panic she does after seeing something like this. Christ! How can you not get jazzed up after seeing that intro? We're introduced to a college doctor of parapsychology, and yes, I was shocked to find that is an actual term, named Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray. His character is made clear not just by his performance, but by his vandalized office, his need to torture innocents, and hitting on students. Yeah, this movie's kind of like Animal House meets Poltergeist. I don't think we're entirely supposed to like these people.
You can keep the $5, I've had it.
I will, mister.
Oh, he's also cheap. I know inflation and everything, but somehow $5 is always just $5 in any time period.
This is it. This is definitely it.
He's approached by Dr. Ray Stantz, played by Dan Aykroyd, who tells him about the ghost at the library where he meets up with Dr. Egon Spengler, played by Harold Ramis. Deaf.
Hope we can clear this up quickly and quietly.
Let's not rush things. We don't even know what you have yet.
No wonder this became an animated series. Not only is every person they encounter a Marx Brothers antagonist, but the three of them basically already look like cartoons. Even if I think they mixed up Peter and Ray's character models.
You know, he doesn't look a thing like me.
They question the librarian before they visit the location.
Are you habitually using drugs, stimulants, alcohol? Are you, Alice, menstruating right now?
I suppose this is as good a time as any to talk about how some of the main leads, particularly Peter, are sometimes seen as too unlikable. Yeah, she could toss part of this up to as a different time, but I'll defend them a bit more beyond that. They do shitty stuff, and that's where the comedy comes from. But not only are we supposed to see deep down they are good guys, there are consequences to their shitty actions. Peter hits too hard on Dana Barrett, so she tosses him out. It's not until he finally starts to come through with what he was hired for and slows down that she starts to like him. They didn't test this dangerous equipment or get okayed from anyone, so they're questioned about it. And when they act like assholes, turning the questioner away, the questioner becomes an asshole and the city turns to chaos. In the end, they make it work because, again, deep down, they are good guys who will eventually do the right thing. But they would have gotten there easier with a lot of these problems being avoided if they acted smarter. But that's not funny, and this is a comedy. And these three are fun to watch make asses of themselves.
A full dorsal apparition, and it's real.
And apparently it's very gassy.
Where are you from? Originally.
The scene has great build-up. Again, trying to make it a little creepy adds a little believability to what's ultimately a pretty unbelievable scenario.
Get her!
The Ghostbusters, everybody! Yeah, I love the people hired to get rid of ghosts are legitimately terrified of ghosts.
I trust you're moving us to better quarters on campus.
No, you are being moved off campus.
When the three of them are tossed out of the university for, like I said, being non-productive a-holes, leading to one of my favorite lines.
You've never been out of college. You don't know what it's like out there. They expect results.
That's not true. Some people make a very good living producing nothing of value. Peter sees it as a business opportunity. By the way, am I the only one that thinks it almost turns into a musical here?
Ray, call it fate, call it luck, call it karma.
We are gonna make it big. Now let's get some shawarma. I know I've told the story a million times, but I don't care. I'm gonna tell it again. When I first saw this as a kid, I asked what they were drinking. My dad didn't want to say alcohol, so he said it was the magic Ghostbuster juice that turns them into Ghostbusters. And I'll be damned if that doesn't check out, because they suddenly start talking smarter and then they're off to get the firehouse.
This ecto-containment system that Spengler and I have in mind is going to require a load of bread to capitalize.
You're never gonna regret this, Ray.
I'm telling you, man, it weirdly tracks! I also like the way to show they have no money is Egon's calculator gets smaller, which nowadays would actually mean they have more money.
The wiring is substandard, it's completely inadequate for our power needs, and the neighborhood is like a demilitarized zone.
Yeah, so all of New York in 1984. We're introduced to Dana Barrett, played by Sigourney Weaver, who often tries to slip past her nerdy neighbor Lewis, played by Rick Moranis, who, much like many of the actors, improvised a fair amount of his lines.
How you doing? Why don't you have some of the brie? It's at room temperature. I taped 20-minute workout on my machine and played it back at high speed, so it only took 10 minutes. I got a great workout. I'm giving this whole thing as a promotional expense. That's why I invited clients instead of friends.
This character doesn't get enough love. Or maybe sometimes he gets too much. This weirdo seems obsessed with him.
We're ready to believe you.
After seeing the boys' ad on TV, I love Egon looking for his mark. We get a bit of a future cameo. Yeah, remember when Easter eggs could foreshadow the future, not just remind you of the past. And speaking of eggs, they start cooking on the counter and a mysterious sound is heard from the fridge.
You're out of mayo. Miracle Whip if you don't mind.
After hiring a secretary named Janine, played by Annie Potts, our heroes are approached by Miss Barrett with her ghost problem, which I don't know, this place might also be haunted. Their Cokes pretend to be Diet Cokes, and she explains her situation.
Past life experience intruding on present time.
Could be erased memories stored in the collective unconscious. I wouldn't rule out clairvoyance or telepathic contact either.
Or, you know, it could be ghosts. Ghostbusters. Peter goes to check out the apartment, and even while fighting off clumsy advances and talking canines in her icebox, Weaver still plays this as straight as warning the whaling company of a universal threat.
There were creatures writhing around, and they were growling and snarling. And there were flames, and I heard a voice say, Zool.
Well, that just happens when you leave Taco Bell in the fridge too long. Well, I defended Peter a little bit and how his bombastic flirting gets him kicked out. This scene is still done really awkwardly.
No.
I've got it.
No.
I'll prove myself to you.
It's not necessary.
Alright, movie, if you don't want us indicating anything creepy, maybe don't make a scene indicating something creepy.
I'll solve your little problem.
Okay.
Yeah, this scene's weird. Your weird scene.
We got one!
So what would you say? We're 50, maybe 60 minutes in? We're not even a half hour in yet, and they're already taking their first job.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
This movie is so damn tight at getting information to you through both verbal and visual storytelling, as well as both obvious and subtle gestures getting across character. With so many franchise movies having ridiculous running times, it is so impressive this movie is only an hour 40 long, and it feels like you got the same amount of info from a 2.5 hour movie. It wastes no time.
Going up.
I'll take the next one.
They get called about a ghostly disturbance while putting together. They've never successfully tested this equipment.
We thought you were someone else.
We thought you were Paul Feig. They discover a party animal ghost named Slimer, who I've mentioned before is said to be the spirit of John Belushi, who gives them a run for their money, but they corner him in a dining hall.
Don't cross the streams. All life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
They're saying this now with no protection? Godpeck is right! But you know, they just aim those nuclear warheads away from each other and end up catching the ghost. Egon feeds him the made-up prices on the spot.
4 big ones, $4,000.
I had no idea to be so much I won't pay it.
But we would like a brandy. And wouldn't you know it, ghosts are suddenly popping up all over the place, making them a sensation. This leads to one of the more famous moments, for better or worse, of Ray having a dream about getting a BJ. And yes, the lyrics "bustin' makes me feel good" were supposed to play at that moment, but were cut out.
What a crime.
Ramis said the idea was Egon and Peter both got love interests, so wouldn't it be funny if Ray's was a woman who's been dead for years? As an entire backstory was created involving an old historical fort and everything. The scene was too long though, as well as maybe a few other things while watching this, so they turned into a pointless dream sequence. And yeah, it's not needed, but it is kind of worth it just to hear Dan Aykroyd say it was based on real paranormal activity. I hope this dude never discovers reality, because this shit is great.
Big question on everybody's mind. How is Elvis, and have you seen him lately?
With their celebrity growing bigger and bigger every day, they put out an ad for extra help, and an impressive one person applies. Winston Zedmore, played by Ernie Hudson.
Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy?
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say.
This is the only part of the movie I have a major problem with. Winston should have been brought in earlier. I heard originally Eddie Murphy was supposed to be one of the four, and maybe he was supposed to play that part, though I don't know. It's possible maybe he was supposed to be more the Peter role than the Winston role. I could be wrong, though. Either way, Winston is supposed to be the everyman who either goes with the flow or constantly tries to distance himself.
I want to make a phone call. Yeah, just work with these guys, man. I wasn't even there.
I love these three together, and you could argue the audience reaction is kind of the everyman reaction these three need. But I'm constantly wondering how many of these moments would have been made even funnier if Winston was there reacting to their insanity, being the voice of grounded but humorous reason. I think that shows by the fact that while sure he has some funny lines, he also has some of the best moments in the film.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day.
We had the tools, we had the talent. I love this town!
If it wasn't him giving this performance, I don't know if these moments would be as good.
Dr. Beckman, this is a surprise.
Peter meets up with Dana, reveals Zool is the minion of a demonic force named Gozer. And as I hinted at before, I kinda get it. There's morons out there who don't follow social cues and keep hitting on a person who's clearly not interested, and you don't want to encourage that. But look at these two. They're both clearly into each other at this point. Of course it helps they surround her with nothing but schmuck, so he looks better by comparison.
So who the hell is that?
I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you, sir, and I'm glad you're feeling much better. You're still very pale, though.
Let me look at my unorthodox scale. We are at most! Liam Atherton plays a representative from the Environmental Protection Agency.
I'm Walter Peck.
Even his introduction sounds perfectly snobby. I mean, that this role should so easily be boring in one note, but he masterfully makes him both charming and a prick at the same time.
Hey, please. See the storage facility, Mr. Peck.
And he says there's a lot of concerns about their equipment having hazardous results.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously.
Rightfully so! And when he asks to take a closer look at their establishment, he's thrown out.
Either show me what is down there, or I come back with a court order.
You go get a court order, and I'll sue your ass for wrongful prosecution.
Or at the very least, I'll have kids across America constantly call you dickless. No, really, that's something this poor actor had to put up with for a while.
I have to go. I have a date.
Meanwhile, Dana gets ready for a date, as it is a beautiful painting outside, when the movie goes from funny Pac-Man ghost to borderline Freddy Krueger territory. Lewis has similar issues next door as he throws a party.
You think it's too warm in here for the brie?
Louis, I'm going home.
What if I sing Suddenly Seymour? I know I bash the overuse of CG in movies, but admittedly, they kinda help smooth out some of these keying lines. This moment brought to you by New York. They know. They just don't care. I do love the irony that these two neighbors are possessed so that they can immediately find each other across the hall, but somehow they end up miles away from each other, so they literally ask everyone if they're the person they're looking for.
Are you the keymaster?
Yes.
Peter quickly puts together that something is up, and in a funny twist, she comes on to him and he pushes her away.
I
want you inside me.
Go ahead. No, I can't. Sounds like you got at least 2 people in there already.
Again, I feel like if this was just a I gotta score character, he would take her up on this. Honestly, I feel like a lot of comedies might have gone that direction. But instead, he tries to save her, and I guess Weaver said she wanted a role that was a bit more playful and fun compared to what she was getting at the time. And you can tell, because she is clearly having a ball with this. Zoom, motherfucker! Oh, wait, that's literally what this is.
I just whacked her up with about 300 cc's of Thorazine. She's gonna take a little nap now.
There's been jokes about Peter giving her Thorazine, like, what the hell is he doing bringing that on a date? And while those jokes are funny, again, some people I think take this too literally. My guess is they just needed a joke about how much it takes to knock out a creature so powerful. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it was improvised. But for the sake of argument, let's take it literally. The place is ransacked. Like Peter was looking for something to calm her down. So you could argue he found a prescription she had. If you're wondering what kind of doctor would prescribe her Thorazine, she saw a dog in the fridge. What would you give her?
What did you say your name was?
Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer.
Lewis is possessed as well, calling himself the Keymaster, looking for the Gatekeeper. As Winston thinks maybe all these ghosts suddenly popping up have apocalyptic overtones.
Ray, has it ever occurred to you that maybe the reason we've been so busy lately is because the dead have been rising from the grave?
If so, I would love to know who these people were before they died. Peck returns, though, demanding the place be shut down as he has a court order to do so.
I think there's just been a slight misunderstanding, and I want to cooperate in any way that I can.
I love how Peter instantly folds. He does that a lot in the face of adversity. The containment unit is turned off, releasing all the ghosts, making this cop really angry. They're arrested as the ghosts start to torment the city to the song Magic, which, by the way, you really have to search for on the soundtrack, as half the song is something completely different. I love you. Where did that come from? And our heroes figure out the building was designed to summon the forces of the evil Gozer.
Intended to bring about the end of the world, and now it looks like it may actually happen.
It's an election year, though. We're used to hearing that. Carl Winslow takes him to the mayor, and I like now Peck folds and makes up stories when he sees rushing in might have been the wrong thing to do.
They use sense and nerve gases to induce hallucination.
Power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Don't ask how he knows that's true. Meanwhile, the Gatekeeper and the Keymaster open doors, while the mayor sides with the Ghostbusters and allows them to take on evil. But evil's, you know, pretty bad. In hindsight, you had lightning and you went with earthquake. That's like having a gun, but you went with quicksand. One's clearly better.
Let's go! Hey, go!
The crowd cheers him on and they rush on in to the stairs.
But when we get to 20, tell me. I'm gonna throw up.
Why are SNL members going up buildings always the funniest part? Dana and Lewis are transformed into dogs as Our Lady of the Triforce opens up to finally reveal Gozer.
It's Gozer. I thought Gozer was a man. It's whatever it wants to be.
Woke! I now have to hate all this. Why don't you call it Go Woke, Go Broke Busters?
Or whatever it is, it's gotta get by us.
We get a nice callback to their first ghost encounter.
That was your whole plan. Get her.
Go get her, Ray!
But Gozer Captain EOs their asses when Ray answers no to being a god.
When someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Oh, you read the Influencer's Handbook.
Choose the form of the destructor.
Though certainly swimming in 80s, yeah, what 6000 BC creature has flat tops? Gozer is a pretty cool villain, who much like Sauron, doesn't need to be seen that much in order to leave a dreadful presence.
Whatever we think of, if we think of J. Edgar Hoover, J. Edgar Hoover will appear and destroy us.
J. Edgar Hoover has come.
Ray thinks back to his childhood and thinks of an old food mascot named Stay Puft who can't possibly hurt them. But he's naturally proven wrong. Again, as someone who grew up with the cartoon, I can't guess what it must have been like for an audience to see this is the antagonist at the end and how funny it must have been. But as a fan of the show, it was pretty amazing to see some really spectacular effects dedicated to this creature.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
And I have to point out in a past video, I showed off how this effect was a little clumsy because you can see through the leg. But one comment said, of course you can see through it. He's a ghost. Shut me the hell up.
We'll cross the streams.
They say crossing the streams might reverse the door to the ghost world, so they cross them as peeingly as possible. I hope I'm the first one to make up that word. And it seems to work, blowing up Gozer and the Marshmallow Man. I love too William Atherton asked if getting all this marshmallow dumped on him was gonna hurt, and the crew just said, oh. Even in real life, Peck brings up good points. As a kid, I'm on the Ghostbusters side, but as an adult, this is the asshole that makes more sense.
Are you right?
Everyone else is covered as well, except for Peter, who has romantic lead armor. And they bust Dana and Lewis out of their burnt dog shells.
Who are you guys?
We're the Ghostbusters.
Who does your taxes?
Nobody, but you can be a lawyer in the future. So as the credits roll, we find Gozer is destroyed, the city is saved, Peter and Dana share this incredibly awkward kiss. This guy, and they ride off into the slime set. I'm off to Minions the cartoon! So 40 years later, that was Ghostbusters. And sure, on the one hand, you could see this as just a simple comedy adventure designed to sell toys, but its unique premise, memorable characters, extremely quotable lines, and mixing of several different tones does make it stand out. It's similar to watching an anime, you know, the ones where a bunch of hearts and wavy lines go by 1 second, but then out of nowhere some really heavy shit suddenly hits. This does that, okay, maybe not much with drama, but certainly with sci-fi, horror, family entertainment, grown-up entertainment, subtle wordplay, but also over-the-top special effects, and of course, comedy. Somehow it manages to balance all of these perfectly and master every single one of those categories. It's not really a story about people discovering amazing things about themselves or changing greatly. It's a story about people having a passion for something and showing the struggles and rewards of working towards achieving it. It's kind of like a Disney film in that way. Some see Ariel as not very complex, but others see someone who knows what she wants despite everyone saying she can't get it, and uses her drive and dedication to achieve her dream. A lot of people recognize the value in that despite her being flawed, and I think people can see the same value here despite these characters being flawed. They screw up, they do the wrong things, and many times it blows up in their faces, but they are still taking a chance on themselves despite nobody else having faith in them. It's a story we see all the time in kids media, but it's also a story we see all the time in adult media, which is perhaps why it speaks so well to both. I know it's not a classic to everyone, but to kids looking to connect to adulthood and adults looking to connect to childhood, this is an imaginative, one-of-a-kind comedy that's just as relatable and smart as it is bizarre and hilarious. Okay, so I think I know how to explain why this film is so good.
Not now. We just watched Earth's greatest masterpiece.
Oh, what? Citizen Kane, The Seventh Seal?
No, Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Oh,
I never understood the meaning of Christmas until I saw this epic.
Really?
The symbolic struggles, the layers of commentary, the way he answered the mysteries of the pyramids.
In The Room?
You are so fortunate to live on a planet that has a film that scientifically proves what happens after death.
I was moved to tears.
In The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Oh, yes, don't you know? Tommy Wiseau is one of us.
But don't ask specifically what galaxy he's from. That's still a little vague.
And he made the greatest film you've ever seen.
Maybe it doesn't translate well into English.
But in the weird-ass Name 5 dialect, it's absolutely stunning.
Huh. Well, that certainly explains a lot, but it also raises a lot more questions. I'm the nostalgia critic, and I think I have another language to learn.
Welcome to Learning Weird-Ass Name 5-ish. Lesson 1. Hello.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Why'd I throw that? That's my phone.
I taped 20-minute workout on my machine and played it back at high speed, so it only took 10 minutes. I got a great workout.